So
right, let's have a seat right here. Over here.
Right here.
Yo, while we getting started, right?
One of the most dangerous projects in the Bronx, man. New York.
What up, Pop?
What up, more or less? I just need you to kick that real for my brother Sonetta right here.
What's
going on,
Yeah.
my man?
Oh man, we all knew that nigga was like that, man.
Hold on.
Wasn't there ain't no goddamn secret about no shit, man. He always did that shit, man. I knew the nigga from damn near 40 years. Lance Taylor's his fucking name. His name ain't no Bambaataa, man. I don't even know who gave him that, but
Nobody knows that Kevin Donovan dude. We don't know who that is.
nah,
We want to know why he keeps switching his names up like that.
So, my brother, I'm gonna ask you, if you knew this all this time, why would you allow him to get away with that? You know?
Man, I ain't had nothing to do with that. I didn't hang with him. He wasn't I wasn't his follower though.
Okay.
I was one of his followers, man. I ain't listen.
So
To
you
each
know-
his own, man.
You know what it is?
You know?
What it is that some brothers done moved away, right? Some brothers moved away, some came back. The rumors was always there. Everybody didn't see Bam doing what he doing, but the rumors was always there. But the reality of it is, when you sitting up there and you talking about why you didn't do nothing, and they asking why people ain't do nothing, when you got some of the illest killers, and there's probably about 50, 60 of them from corner to corner, when you got the illest killers, what the fuck is you gonna do? It kills me when people say, I would have did this, I would have did that. Like, what do you do when you dealing with the illest killers that's dealing with him? Bam had some of the most official niggas dealing with him. I mean, the reality of it is, we in Bronx River right now. I'm one of the most official niggas that ever came out of this projects. In the early 90s, you could not come like Zulu. I'm the reason why Zulu could come back in Bronx River. Zulu couldn't come in Bronx River, it was me and B.O. They could not come back in here, especially after Nudie shot Muhammad. They couldn't come back. They was getting robbed and everything else. There was no respect no more. I made it so that people could be able to come back in here, have the meetings and everything else. I was the power behind that in here. And then you have to ask yourself a question. Well, damn, after this man molested you, why the fuck was you holding down his nation like that? See, the whole thing about it is that after my situation that I went through with him, I still dealt with the Zulu Nation. But I wasn't sitting around waiting around to see what more games he was gonna be playing with little boys. I just stepped the fuck away from him. Went to jail. Came home. When I came home, I wasn't around him like that. I would see him at functions or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, same with me.
Everybody see him at
Same with
functions.
me, and that was
speak, take pictures, rock with him or whatever the case may be. But you know, give him the breakdown.
He was in a black space. Was you in a black space? Was you part of that?
Nah, I was by myself, man, mostly. But you know, I hung around with a lot of them, man. I knew a lot of them, but I wasn't down with none of that, man. I'm a one-man army myself, you know.
So, while you be out here, you used to see Bam walking with a lot of little boys.
Bam always had followers, man. Everybody, you know, there was the thing that to get into his parties, man. Let me carry some crates or something, you know. That's the kind of thing it was, you know. It was always a follower. He was never alone. Man was never alone by himself, you know. He always had a crowd, but you know, that's the kind of person he was. But on the other hand, that's the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, you understand?
Right.
So, and I mean, hey man, I like the guy, but hey, from what he does now, I condone that, you know, for what he did.
And the more and more that I sit back and I analyze, you know, what I came out of and what it is right now, what it began, what it started as in the beginning. It started off with everybody having fun. I'm gonna let them sirens go by. It started off with everybody having fun, you know, partying, unity, peace, love, or whatever the case may be. But the reality of it is, and I won't put this on the Illuminati in the beginning, Bam was a cupcake. How long was Bam a cupcake for?
Long time, over 30 years. Over 30 years, man. Over 30 years. You know, and you know, a lot of people didn't know that he had an older brother. See, Bam had an older brother. He passed away.
I didn't even know that.
Nobody knew that. See, that's how long I knew the nigga, okay? He was in my building on the first floor. You know, in '95. So I know the nigga, man. So I whatever everybody else talk, that's bullshit, you know. They can kick fucking rocks, man, you know. Especially my man Ness, he don't know shit. Ness don't know a goddamn thing, you understand, about Bam. So he's a follower. He's not a leader, he's a follower. You know, but a lot of people don't know that. I know that. You see, and I knew Bam, like I said, over 40 years, man, since I was young, you know, but I was never one of them ones to hang with him. You know, I might have been in his house one time. That's it.
You older than Bam?
No, Bam is older than me.
Bam is older than you?
Yeah.
All right.
You sure Bam ain't get you down?
No, Bam, you's a motherfucking liar. Ain't nothing, boy, ain't nothing funny about me, homie.
No, you ain't
Ain't funny about me, man.
Nah, you know what? I gotta ask that question, cause on some real shit,
Yes, go ahead.
No.
this project's right here. I mean, these dudes out here in Bronx River, and I'm saying it right in the middle of the projects, and I'll be back out here. Y'all know how I get down. It's lucky. See, this is not about Bam being a faggot to me. Even though it partially is too, because who are you? You're supposed to be a Muslim, right? Now, my answer to the my question to you, Sinetta, what is the penalty for somebody who rapes and molests kids?
Well, you already know what the do I gotta say it, man?
Nah, let's keep it let's keep it funky.
Keep it 100.
Let's keep it 100 now. The penalty is death, right? The penalty is death, right?
yeah.
When a
Penalty
dog
is death, yes.
when a dog bites anybody in the house,
They gotta put him to sleep.
you got to put him to
that dog
sleep.
to sleep.
Now here's the
Put
problem.
him down.
I try to give Bam mercy by saying, I still got love for you, brother. Step up to the plate. Your time for mercy is up. It's over with. See, what Bam is doing with the Zulu Nation, with his council and everything else, you got everybody stepping down because they trying to shut me up. Don't nobody give a fuck about Ron Savage. Nobody cares about him. For one, everybody feels like he's Bam's age and he was Bam's little younger boyfriend. All right, you 15, I'm 17. This is the game that they're gonna play with him. You can't play that game with me. Bam is old enough to be my father. Number one. Number two, when you sit back and you analyze it with Pepsi, right? I don't want nobody to think that I just got hatred towards Pepsi. Pepsi is like a mother figure to me. I'd have died for Pepsi. Here's the reality. Yeah, 3 years ago, Pepsi came back. 3 years ago, she comes back. Now, when you come back and you find out the allegations, what's going on with Bam, right? Just like everybody else on the council, I'm gonna speed it up and skip shit. You know the truth already, but you put something up on your post talking about, I'm calling for all Zulus to basically, and the post is still up on Facebook, I even saved it to my phone, to take the head of every threat and all threats to the Zulu Nation, talking about Star, me, B-Stinger, and all the other accusers. So now, to somebody, she's from my hood, from my building, seen me grow up from a little kid, like a mother figure to me, you gonna call for the death of your fellow brothers for somebody that like to fuck little kids? I gotta keep it raw and gutter. That's what she did. So to sit up there and say she didn't know, when she called for that, Pepsi didn't make it to the actual meeting, she got there afterwards. We done sat down and had dinner and all the rest of that, me and some of my brothers. And when we sat down or whatever the case may be, like I said, Bam said he was gonna do certain things and he was gonna make certain things right. He was gonna apologize and change his life and make a center or something for the youth. He never did nothing. Like I said before, when that video went back up, I never put it up. That shit, it just mysteriously popped up when Ron put the paper out. I was tight. I was straight tight. Now, everybody's saying that they don't cover up. Me, Mickey is on Ice-T's manager. Me, Mickey, and Ahmed was on the phone calling Star. I never spoke to Star. I was just on the background with the phone mute. They was trying to get Star to take my video down. Star wasn't gonna take it down. Moving right along, right after that, all right, we desperate now. We gotta clear Bam name. Y'all not trying to cover it up. Y'all asking me over the phone to make a video stating that this was just a joke because we just wanted to test the people and see how far they would go with gossip. And we writing a book on gossiping. So now what y'all did was, right, you asked me to discredit myself and make me look like a liar for a pedophile. Now I'm standing in the projects yesterday, right? I come through, I just pop up on a humble. Stop through, I'm coming from Queens. I said, let me stop through here, see what's going on. I walk up on the Zulu brothers.
Where was they at?
They standing in the middle, right in the circle right there, where all the jams used to be at. So,
Going in and out.
So where was I? All right, in the middle of the project. So I get to the middle of the projects. I see the Zulu brothers out there. You know, I'm cautious because it is what it is. You don't know who a friend or foe is. I walk up on the crowd. What's good? You know, brothers greet me, or whatever the case may be, and let me know that they basically trying to take Zulu over. They not trying to deal with the council. They feel like they invested a lot in this, and they not down with the hand shit with the little boys. So more or less, I see one of my Spanish brothers. I don't want to say his name right now because I want him to, you know, take the time out to do what he said he's gonna do. I says to him, I was like, "You've been around Bam for a long time. You've been in Bam house." He was like, "Yeah, I've been in Bam house." I said, "Bam got you." All the brothers around him, they look. I said, "Bam got you." He put his head down. I said, "Why you don't come forward?" It's not that and it's like I told him, I said, I didn't see Bam. I know he got you. He lifted his head back up. He was like, "I need the time, to break this off to my wife and my kids. This is not an easy situation." And I understand totally what he was trying to say. This has not been an easy ordeal for me to deal with. I done lost friends. And not because they cut me off. I had to cut them off because I see where you stand at. We can never be friends no more. We can never be cool no more. Look at how y'all move. Look at y'all no morals, no integrity. By the age of 40 years old, you should be solidified of who you are as a man and your character and certain shit I'm just not going to accept.
Right.
So more or less me listening to the sister now, it's like when you talk about Pepsi, you can't cover up for Pepsi because Pepsi knew. And not only did she know, because she's with Ahmed. Her and Ahmed is in a relationship. So Ahmed was at that meeting, and when he got back to you and we all sat down and she gave me a hug and told me how sorry she was, but then you turn around when shit hit the fan with Bam and then turn around and say, "Well, I'm calling for the death," or y'all basically calling for the head of the radio jockey and the accusers that's trying to take down the nation. And then try to turn it into a conspiracy.
She just recently said that?
She put that on Facebook a couple of weeks ago after the Ron Savage stuff, after all this stuff came back up. Now, you already know me as a son to you. As a son to the nation, as a son to some of the members of the Black Spades, not all of them, because I don't know all of them, but some of them, and you call for the death of all of us, like it's a game, and then on top of that, y'all have a meeting with the brother Shep. Now this is what bugged me out. Y'all drop a video saying that, basically it's gonna be a lot of deaths. That's on YouTube. It's gonna be a lot of deaths, and brothers is gonna get killed with this pro and tell shit. Now I'm pro and tell, one of the illest niggas that came out of the Zulu Nation. I'm pro and tell now, right? So basically, the next day, brother Shep, after our news conference in Harlem or whatever, he dropped some shit, basically apologizing.
Hey, Poppy, she's shouting you out.
What up, baby? He apologized. Brother Shep apologized on the internet for calling me an informant. But I'm like, what part of the game are y'all playing? Just the day before, y'all put out a video talking about this is some conspiracy shit, and we conspiracists, and there's gonna be a lot of people that's dying. Well, I'm asking a question. If it's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna die, where the deaths coming from? Who's gonna die? The people that have a problem? Is it gonna be Tazariak? Is it gonna be brother what's the other brother name?
Irritated Genie.
Irritated Genie. Is it gonna be them brothers? Because they speaking out against a pedophile? I mean, what's the problem? The brother's supposed to be down with the Black Spades, right? But moving right along again to the sister. See, here's the thing. She brings up George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman is a white boy that killed one black kid. Bambaataa is a serial pedophile. The damage that he did, and still to this day, cannot be undone. I mean, I'm sitting back and I got people from the UK talking about the brothers out there that committed suicide, that Bam molested, and it's more than one, it's actually two, that committed suicide because they couldn't take what this man did. Here's the reality of it. The jig, like the brother Pint said, the jig is up. All that coming forth now, Bam got the Zulu Nation warring with each other. While he hiding in the closet, all he's waiting for is for all of this shit to calm down, to cool down, so he could come back out of the closet, stick his chest out with a couple of celebrities, and get back to the same nasty ass life he was living. The reality of it is, it's not my place to call for anybody's death. But most people that speaks on a pedophile, if anybody else does it, y'all answer to it is death. So what is the excuse for Bam? When he's a serial pedophile, we in Bronx River Projects right now. You got some of these dudes out here, they mad because I came out. And if they keep on running their mouth, it ain't gonna just be about the little boys that own Bam Touch. It's gonna be me talking about y'all grown ass men that was getting whopped off by that nigga. And y'all already know how I get down. It is what it is. Y'all keep on running your mouth. See, the reality of it is, a grown ass man, what is the first thing you say when you hear somebody touch the little boy? It's sickness that comes to the stomach. Ain't nobody talking about, well, why you waited this long to come? Who says that?
Right.
Automatically, the first thing that's gonna happen when I find out you touched a little boy, I'm gonna be sick in my stomach. So when you sit up there and you say, or anybody sit up there and y'all say, well, why you wait this long to come out? You must have liked it. Say it to my face. I guarantee you I decapitate any one of y'all. Say it to my face. I dare you. Anybody, any one of y'all, I dare you. That's the reality of it. Ain't no grown man gonna feel comfortable with another man touching a little boy. Ain't no grown man gonna condone that or cover it up just because this is Bambaataa. We don't rock like that. Grown men don't get down like men of morals don't get down like that. Men of morals don't get down like that. You listen to the sister in her own way, what she say, I respect her. I send love back out to her in the own, you know, the black space or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, she got to understand something. Listening to her story, she protected her pedophile. And still to this day, protecting her pedophile. Whatever spell and curse that Bam had on us, it's over with. I'm not covering up for him or no other pedophile. I'm not gonna make it comfortable. I'm not gonna make it comfortable for Bam to continuously do what he's been doing. I'm not gonna let the system make it seem like Pepsi didn't know what the fuck was going on. I'm not gonna let people say that they didn't know what was going on with Bam because after they got molested, they decided not to go back up in Bam's house no more. Or because you done got whopped off by him because he liked men, well, you know, the younger dudes or whatever, and y'all decide to stay away, so now y'all not going, but y'all watching other victims going in, and y'all know what goes on in Bam's house. We not gonna play stupid. Well, I ain't around. Now, so I'm in the circle yesterday, right? And I'm talking to one of the members of Bam group. I ain't gonna put his name out there yet. One of the members of Soul Sonic Force, and he's telling me yesterday, he was like, yo, I'm mad when he put Bam out. This is Bam roommate manager. When he put Bam out, he called two people on the phone. Crazy Mike. He called Crazy Mike on the phone. Was it Powwow or somebody else he called on the phone? He called these brothers, he called a few brothers on the phone. So they goes to Ahmed's house. They get up at Ahmed's house. Bam, I guess, just finished fucking one of them little boys. The little nigga was fucking Bam. The whole house smelled like ass. That's the reason why Ahmed said right there, then and there that day, I just heard this story yesterday. Get the fuck out. He told Bam, get the fuck out of my house. So now, let's go back to the videotape that Ahmed made. When Ahmed said that he left because of the rumors, that was a cover-up. He left because he went in his house and Bam was fucking one of them little boys in the house and his house smelled like shit. And three of them dudes flipped on Bam and Ahmed kicked Bam out that day, and that's when Bam left his house. So now, when you come back to the nation, damn, the money must be getting a little bit better. Bam paying a little bit more bills for y'all. Because now the same reason that he admitted this, go back to the tapes on Star, you admitted this. So now the same reason that you left for, when you come back, now you find out he got one of your official soldiers as a kid while you used to be sitting in the next room. He admitted it in front of all of y'all. Instead of them owning up and stepping up and saying, yo, he admitted it. Behind the scenes, what they was doing, you got Ahmed talking about, oh, I was only in the apartment for 2 years. And then they trying to push me up as an adult, forgetting that when I just turned 18, I was in jail for homicides. So on paper in black and white. Don't try to push me up to be a grown man just in case, because Bam still ain't even admit to being a faggot, a homo.
Yeah.
So y'all trying to make him use I'm gay as a back door, but being gay does not give you a right to play with a little boy. The reality of it is, I can't count how many people done came forward and said, Bam done got me too, but I can't come forward. It's too embarrassing. I can't take that. I don't want everybody to know. And everybody been running into somebody that's been saying the same shit. So now, when you sit back and you analyze all the damage that was done, my question is, what is the penalty? It is what it is. So when you sit up there and say, oh, these brothers is calling for Bam death, maybe they don't mean it. Maybe they speaking out of emotion, or maybe they calling for exactly what the fuck he deserve. It is what it is.
In every community, in every other community, the Italian community, the Irish community, the Jewish community, they take care of issues like that, right? In this community, it seems like it's a failure of the adults. What do you think about that?
In this community,
the adults failed, or they just didn't know? Bronx
River is the most embarrassing community that there is. The elders in Bronx River is embarrassing, because even to this point, in this time right now, everybody know what's going on. They stand clear away. They don't want me to call them over here and put them on the spot. Now, what I want you to do is, the first video I put up on my Facebook page with Dow, he was roasting Bam ass. When he realized he back on camera again, they get scared. Now, Dow used to be a little warrior back in the days. But the reality of it is, Bam got money, and Bam still has soldiers that'll get busy.
Right.
Real soldiers don't worry about that. It is what it is. Now, as far as what the Zulu Nation is now, I'm not going to say it started off on some old Illuminati shit, but what I will say is Bam started practicing rituals after he got into the music industry, from what I'm learning now, and from what I was told, he gets power from sucking young boys' semen.
That's what he thinks.
And then when you, but see, the Roman Catholic Church does the same thing. The Jews, they do the same thing. So now you know that this is a ritual. But Bam just so happening to do, he's doing this to all of his neighbors' kids. He's done this to the whole community. There's somebody, he done got half of everybody in every building in his projects. And everybody kept quiet. And even to the day now, some of the people will sit up there and say, well, why he want to come forward now? You know why? Because they know I seen that book. And a lot of them was in that book, so the fear of, yo, I hope the book that Bam,
I heard about the book.
There's a book that Bam breaks you in with. And when he breaks you in this book, see, this is what people got to understand. Oh, Bam ain't that dangerous. Y'all coming forward now? No, he's still dangerous. I'm just as dangerous as the niggas that he called. I was the nigga that they called. So it is what it is. Number one. Number two, when it comes to a topic like this, and him continuously hurting little boys, like the young boy that stabbed him, like, come on.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you, one of the best things that came out of this, brother, is that a lot of people are coming forward now. I have received calls. I had to call Sapphire. People from all over the world are calling me, telling me they've been molested by their uncle, by their aunt, by their brothers. So you don't understand, your story have affected the world globally, brother.
No, I know.
People are coming out, man.
I got a lot of people that...
This is a crime story.
I got a lot of people that be hitting me in my inbox and reaching out to me, that have me in tears listening to their stories. And once again, to the sister, you've been molested. We don't cover up for pedophiles. You covering up for the one that molested you now. Expose them. I'm not going to cover up for a pedophile. My family not speaking to me right now because I threw something out there about my grandmother's husband was molesting my own aunts. And, you know, they got mad that I put that on Facebook. The reality of it is, I'm going to speak the truth. The reality of it is, I thought back as years went along, I remember being in this man's house, him giving me spankings for peeing in the bed, whooped my ass rawly. As I got older, when I heard what he did to my mother's sisters, I'm saying to myself, well, what the hell was on my mother's mind, knowing that he was raping them, to even allow me to be in this man's presence? And this is the cycle that's passed down from generation to generation in our households in Bronx River and everywhere. A lot of people are quiet on this topic for one reason. Because they got molested and they too embarrassed to speak upon it, or because they doing the molestation right now. This is a serious topic in our community, and unless we put our foot down and say enough is enough, it's going to keep on happening. I mean, the reality of it is when you sit back and you analyze, you see the high school right there, you know, the brothers, that corner right there, you see the 40-year-old men, right, standing on that corner, waiting for the junior high school, elementary school girls to go to school. You got grown-ass men that be trying to holler at them little girls every day.
Name of the high school so people know.
It was called Monroe. I don't know if they switched it because, you know, some of these schools, they break them down and change the names and turn them into charter schools, but that was Monroe right there.
Who was B.O.?
Who was B.O.? B.O. was...
That's important.
B.O. was a brother that was the head of the army of the Zulu Nation. B.O. was a true warrior. B.O. was a brother that was caught up in between taking the youth out of the street and still being caught up in the street itself. B.O. was a brother trying to make a transition to get out of the streets, and I guess the Most High said he had to be spanked, and he died still in that state.
Okay, so he got murdered in Castle Hill.
Yeah.
He got murdered in Castle Hill by another organization that was coming up, right?
Yeah.
So was it? One thing is we have different types of criminality. Pedophilia is a criminality, right?
Yeah.
But there are other type of criminalities that's convergent, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure one criminality is not different or better than the other.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we have extortion, we have drug dealing, right? Like, can we condone one of those, or do we have to not condone all of them? I mean, it's a process of growing up, because this is the hood right here, right? So it's hard living in Bronx River, right? But what I'm just trying to say is that I don't want to just say, like, okay, well, one crime is bad, but the other crimes is okay. What do you say about that?
Here's my thing, and I've been talking about this lately a whole lot too. I cannot stand the dudes that be on my Facebook page and you go in that religion. That's cool. But when you come outside, you ain't saying nothing about these dudes out here pumping that crack or that dope on the block. And that's part of the biggest reason why a lot of the kids is being molested, because you sitting up there, you selling crack and you selling dope to their mother and father. The household is broken up. My father was not there because he was a dope fiend.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, some of my girlfriends had their own parents abandon them because they was using drugs and they was molested. As a matter of fact, I don't think I ever had a girlfriend in my life that wasn't molested. So this is something that we have to take serious, and I've dealt with a lot of females.
We're dealing with an older generation, right, that's impacted by drugs and other type of crimes and going in prison, raising children. I'm just trying to figure out, why didn't the adults do anything about this?
Well,
I'm looking at that as a...
For one, I've heard stories of people stepping forward and saying something about Bam and they disappeared. You got to understand something. When you was dealing with Bambaataa, especially even at this time right now, people are scared to talk on camera. I mean, you got brothers that did 30 years that's just coming home right now for dealing with the Zulu Nation. That ain't no joke. So when you sit up there and you say Bam is scared, Bam still got loyal soldiers. What hurt me about Pepsi? Watch the video. I want everybody to watch the video. Pepsi reached out to me. She talks to me through the inbox and tells me how much she still loves me. But at the end of the day, she got to understand the pain that she caused me, being somebody that was like a mother figure to me. What she did and how she went about dealing with this situation with me was all the way foul. Y'all put me out there as an informant, left me out there to dry, and the only reason why they took that title, that stigma off of me, is because I had to muscle you and say certain things. So outside of that, whatever would have happened to me just to save a pedophile would have been all good. That's number one. Number two, you know what time it is with Bam. No, you didn't see everything that happened over the years, but he admitted it. And when he admitted doing what he was doing, there should have been some consequences right there. If y'all men of morals, no, everybody was worried about how this was going to fall apart, how that was going to fall apart. When Ron Savage came forward again, and he told this story, that nigga is lying. He's not lying. I know some of the dude that he's talking about, I'm not going to say his name, because that's between him and them two or whatever the case. I know him. I know who he's talking about. He's not lying.
What's up with the brother, the OG, that made that video. What's his name?
Pint.
Pint.
Half Pint.
What's up with Half Pint?
Half
I
Pint.
wish I could get him, man.
Half Pint. Right now he bought
going in.
he just bought some property down in Atlanta, so he moved out of the Bronx or whatever. Half Pint is one of the old OGs that's the originator from Bronx River that really get busy too. I talk to Pint every day. See, Pint is one of them brothers that if he knew that I was in Bam's house, like he said, he would have flipped out. See, one of my other brothers, I don't want to say his name because he's behind the scenes with me or whatever. He already told Bam when he see him, I'm gonna spit that in your face. So there's brothers that get busy. The Zulu Nation is split right now. You got dudes that feel like no matter what, we standing next to Bam, and you got other ones that feel like, you know what, we heard the rumors, but that's our brother right there, and you got a problem. So when people sit up there and they like, you know, well, if Bam is supposed to be strong, so when people say if Bam is supposed to be strong, it's not about Bam being strong. Even if I was a coward, Bam is still doing what he's doing. If this cools down and it get quiet, Bam is gonna come back out and he's gonna do what he's gonna do all over again. Now, my thing about the Zulu Nation, there's some good brothers in the Zulu Nation that's really trying to take over it and rebuild it back up. Part of me feel like, let these brothers build it back up. Now, here's another part. I feel personally like it's a slippery slope because some of these dudes in the Zulu Nation, including me, have been molested by Bam. And anybody who has been molested cannot be trusted with kids. And I would tell you that even about myself. Anybody who has been molested cannot be trusted with kids because you have a habit of when you're touched, you touch other people's kids. Bronx River is so foul with it. A couple of years ago, this building right here, which is Bam's building, there's a
right here?
Bam's building. This is not his original building. There's another building where Ahmed building, but this is Bam's building. Bam used to live on the first floor right here. Now when you sit,
There's Armstead.
what, huh? Where his mom stayed.
No, it was
Ahmed
called Armstead. It was something. What's the name of that building?
That's 9-5.
There's something 10, and it was in between Armstead or something.
Now I don't know what that is. So now, when you sit back and analyze it, it was a pastor dude in this building. This pastor dude was touching on some kids that I heard about. I exposed him, and I exposed him all over Facebook too. And you know what the community did? The same stink ass projects covered it right up for him, because they pick and choose who is okay. And when the sister was sitting up there saying in her video that her family didn't know, I was thinking to myself, your father and your mother knew. They turned a blind eye because they was worshiping that man instead of worshiping the Most High. That's personally how I felt. Now, I can't prove that, but the reality of it is, you got a mother and a father in the household. Usually a pedophile, they try to stay away from the mother and the father. They try to get the weak houses where they feel like it's a single mother, too busy, distracted, angry, because the pops ain't there. You know, this is the role that they play, but then again, you can't even say that neither, because a dude like Bam, and when you say go get Bam some help, what the fuck? I mean, I'm gonna put it to you like this. I like light-skinned girls with fat asses. I like pretty girls with fat asses. It's just something about a fat ass that's gonna turn me off. Now, you give me a cure that's gonna stop me from liking vagina. If you could find a cure for me not liking them girls with the long hair, the nice bodies, if you could find me a cure for that, please give it to me. So now, with Bam, he's attracted to little boys. And not only is he attracted to it, but from what I'm understanding, it became a ritual now. This is part of your ritual, where you like to suck on a private, it gives you power. Okay, well, power your way out of this shit. Bam should have stepped forward like an honorable man and apologized to the public instead of getting on the news and saying, it's a conspiracy, maybe they want something, maybe they did. So now you just insulted everybody that you hurt like a coward. Like a straight coward.
I'm gonna give you the other side of this, right? The governor just said that he would sign a bill to change the statute of limitations.
Oh, word?
Yes, he said that he would sign. He just finally, this weekend, said that he would sign. What they are scared of, what everybody's scared of, Poppy, right? If it goes to criminal charges, this is the $1 million question, right? they're most scared of you testifying because you know more people. They're not concerned about Ron Savage. They're concerned about you, and that is why you are the focus of this. Do you understand why the pressure, why people are concerned, right? Because if they open it up, they're going to possibly gang statue them or RICO statue lots of people. Anybody that you possibly would have mentioned, right, may be facing a criminal charge. Forget BAM. BAM is just, they would make, if they would give, they usually give in New York what they call a kingpin. They give the kingpin the deal.
I know this. I know it.
And the kingpin tells on everybody else, so that maybe possibly he can go to Sing Sing and do his still 100 years, but he at least gonna do it in Sing Sing. He ain't gonna go out to the mountains. This is what people are concerned about, right? And you've been in the criminal justice system, right? And
yeah.
You know about testifying, people who testify, right? And how that process is, and how it's not even fair, right? So, what is your heart feel about that? Because ultimately, this is where almost when Ron Savage has a different strategy. He is dealing with the legislators.
Yeah.
He found some stuff out, right? We were interested in the polygraph for just the truth. Then we found out a whole bunch of other stuff that we weren't really ready for, right? Right? So
Right.
this is going in places where people don't have no control over, right?
Come to find out that he already had the polygraph set up already. You know what I'm saying? With,
That's correct. One Police Plaza.
One Police Plaza. And he's going to be calling BAM to take the polygraph with him.
So,
BAM ain't taking no polygraph test.
He ain't taking that shit.
For one. For two, I wouldn't take it if I was him. Like, first and foremost, the polygraph test is unnecessary when you add up all the evidence here. Ahmed hung BAM in his own way. He choked him out, choked him to death. And then Lord Sharif, on the same note, where everybody's saying that he incriminated himself and how you watch this, how you watch that. Bottom line to it is, for whatever reason that the brother, and I salute him for stepping forward, he came forward. Because one thing I will tell you, yeah, Sharif get busy, I get busy. BAM got money, BAM got soldiers.
You know that dude there? OG?
I don't know who that is. BAM got money. I ain't worried about him neither. Right. Believe me when I tell you. Right. BAM got soldiers, and BAM is not scared. And these brothers, BAM is not scared. And these brothers, for them to come forward like that, everybody got family. Everybody got somebody to take care of. So it ain't just about, you know, all right, I could play tough. Somebody's family member could get hit coming forward on BAM. They know this. It's real out here.
So you certainly are not going to testify. You're not going to, or you're going to work with the system, or this is just for you and your soul. Or
on the grassroots.
On the grassroots, letting people know, right? Because I'm just trying to say, this is beyond us at this particular moment, right? This is way beyond us. They are trying to sign a bill. If they sign a bill, they're gonna go back and get all the names and go racket attack and say you knew or you didn't know, right? I don't think at this point that you have to testify because you've already.
We all live by a code of the street, but there's an exception to the rule with me. When you hurt little kids, that code goes out the window. I don't care who calls me a rat or a snitch or whatever. Like, I don't care if the streets feel like, oh, you losing your street credibility. The streets ain't never did a goddamn thing for me. The streets ain't never gave me no commissary. The streets ain't never did nothing for me. So as far as me worrying about somebody talking about, yo, he ain't official no more. For one, I never did this to take the stand on BAM. But if another kid underage come forward now, and BAM is still hurting more kids right now that's coming forward right now, then I'll do whatever I have to do.
By any means necessary.
By any means necessary. But at the same time, I'm not looking to put BAM in jail. I'm looking for BAM to either repent for what he did or kill himself. Should nobody have to kill you? If you can't stop, nigga, kill yourself. Because the reality of it is the damage that you did, and you did the damage you did to me alone. To peel the scab back open and deal with all of this wasn't easy.
How old is your son now? When you said you came home and you seen your son, how old is your son?
22.
Oh, he's 22?
21, 22.
Are you still in his life?
No, he's not coming around me like that. As a matter of fact, I mean, he's not even coming around my family.
I know that shit kills you.
Yeah, it killed me.
It takes time. It takes time because every man got to live through his own circumstances, and they got to fix things what's inside. Like you fix yourself, so you manned up. Your son got to man up. He ain't there yet. He's 22.
What's the sister name that did the video yesterday? Eva?
Eva, yeah.
To the sister Eva, what I gotta say to her is, she was like, you know, with the George Zimmerman situation, people calling for Bam death. Part of Bam's belief, being that he want to run with the Moors, that he want to act like he up under the Islamic fold, you caught touching a child or in homosexuality, the penalty's death. As a matter of fact, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, says to throw him off the highest mountain. If you catch a homosexual indulging, to throw him off of the highest mountain, I guess that would be the roof of the building. So, accordingly to Bam's laws and Bam's religion that he plays with, because he really don't believe in nothing, he just play games and hop around with everything. It's like with Bam, he's a who are you? You're a chameleon. Who are you? You just blend in with everything. Who are you?
Come on, Reggie. You got to sit there. It's time for you to come out. Sit your ass there, Reggie. Come on over here, Reggie. Come on over here, Reggie. This brother got courage, man. You got to at least.
Yeah, but the people, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Hold on, because you were saying a lot of shit too.
Yeah. The people.
You probably don't want to name a lot of names.
No, I can't because I have to give the people. I'm from Castle Hill, Poppy, right? The people, when we were growing up in the streets, right, there were rumors. And all you could do is take a rumor because it didn't happen to you. But you could judge a rumor by what was going on. So.
What are some of the gangsters, man, that you know? You was naming names. You say Preacher.
No, those they weren't related to this. They were other issues of criminal homosexual activity that you could read in Don Diva and Fed magazine, and you could read what's his name, Mama Dear, right?
Yeah. So
there was a big issue of predatory sexuality, homosexuality. It was like a gladiator sport. It was a way to take away your self-confidence, right? I don't know if it was really about the sex, it was really about humiliation, taking away your confidence. And what happens is when you have communities affected by this, you got a whole bunch of young people, right? Who got to deal with their own self-confidence and who got to build self-confidence, otherwise they become predatory themselves. And that's the problem. But in my community, there are several rumors, and they have to wait. That's right. That's right. Because I can't mention their names until, Poppy, you understand, until they came out or they violate, right?
I mean,
here you go.
See, for me, I'd have called. I pretty much called enough names. You know, I didn't had brothers telling me, you know, I'm getting married, or my brother getting married, family members getting married. So we got kids, and you know, everybody. Sometimes a woman will look at you funny, like regardless of what. It's like, yeah, you've been with another man. That's just some funny stuff. You know, everybody don't take that easy. Here's
see, I want you to make it clear. With your situation,
Going on the side?
not your situation, you wasn't the one going on Bam. Bam was doing that to you.
Yeah.
See, that's a big difference. He's a kid. Bam was doing that to him. He wasn't bending Bam over and having not.
See,
he wasn't doing
you gotta understand.
That's what you gotta clear up. A lot of motherfuckers got that assumption that you and Bam was laying down. You know,
a lot of people in their own sick, twisted minds are pedophiles themselves. So they gotta create a scenario in their mind instead of just understanding. Here's the facts. You got a young man, quite a few now, saying that this man molested me as a kid. They crying out and they saying, I did not like it. He was wrong. And now that I'm old enough to speak out, or for whatever reasons, I'ma speak out. You got these sick ass bloggers, and some of them Zulus, sick ass bloggers blogging oh, you liked it, nigga, this, that. By all means, say it to my face.
That's right.
And that's the bottom line to that. Pretty much, I just had to respond to what the sister was saying. Like, I'm not gonna let her sit up there, like she said with George Zimmerman.
Yeah.
George Zimmerman killed one black man, and it was messed up. But the reality of it is, that's not in our backyard. This is our backyard. We can't worry about what's going on in what state is that?
Where was that at? George Zimmerman.
We not out. I don't even know what state that is. This is our backyard, right? Number one.
Right.
This is our family, our backyard. Number one. Number two, Bam is internationally molesting kids now. You got the situations in Brazil where he had the congressman get him out.
We gotta try to get in contact with somebody over there.
The Congress out there is Zulu. That's who got Bam out. So you got him doing it to the
on the Google out there. See if you could dig up something.
You got him dealing with the brothers in Brazil. You got him with everybody. Yo, he got so many people in the UK coming forward on him right now. Then you got America. So you got this man bouncing from country to country, and y'all saying, come on, my brother, let's give him a hug. Well, I tell you what, let me go over there and grab one of them little 10-year-old boys and get whopped off, and let's see if somebody gonna want to give me a hug after that. What gives Bam the right? What gives these pastors, these rabbis, what give all of these dudes the right to molest these kids? And then everybody want to give them a hug. They status? So you mean to tell me if I get a couple of million, I can rape anybody that I want to, and I can get away with it, and we just gonna give brother Poppy a hug? I've done shit in the street right now, people frown up their face for. That was nothing like that. There's no pass for me. There's no pass for others. See, other people commit their crime and they do the time for it. The stuff that Bam did, a lot of us ain't gonna never recover from that. There is no recovering from that. You got brothers, once again, like I said before, that's doing life bids. And people don't even realize the reason why they was out here dumbing out, because they done had a grown man touching on them, and the reality of it, why they didn't kill Bam. For what? For Bam to have your whole if you killed Bam, especially during those days, your whole family would be murdered. B.O. wasn't the only soldier. You had 1,000 B.O.s before B.O. came along.
Did B.O. know?
I could never say that B.O. knew that. I would never say that B.O. knew that. You see what I'm saying? People did know. A lot of people didn't know. What I will say is B.O. heard these rumors before. I would never let anybody get away with saying that they ain't hear these rumors. And the reality of it is, hearing somebody being called a child molester, not, oh, he gay and this one was 15 and 17 like she said. Them rumors about him playing with little boys been here for over 40 years. Like the brother Sharif said, Bam used to go to the junior high school and pick the brothers up.
Nobody in the community took notice of this. This was just because, did it look like to people just part of being a gang or being an organization? Is that why?
Once again, you gotta understand something. You had the crack era, the dope era. A lot of parents was fiends, number one. Number two, the Zulu Nation was strong. You got kids coming from trouble houses. Then another thing you gotta understand too, this whole area was wild. So being up under Bam gave you protection. If you was up under Bam, you wasn't just gonna have this one over here, that one over there stomping you out. When I grew up in that building right there up the hill. From that building, just to walk from that building to this store, I had to have about at least 15 fights.
That's how it was over here.
There was not like, I mean, you could not just walk to the store. And my building had beef with every building in the projects. So now you could imagine how rough that is. So when people say 1455, you already knew you had to get busy to come out of that building. Bam just so happened to catch me when all of the older brothers like Half Pint and Jerry and all of them, Rodney, Chris, all the violators, the original violators, like Chris Ali, that's his crew. They all moved out of the projects. So now there was nobody left there to protect us.
Who's Zulu Monk? Who's Monk?
Monk was the older brother. He's before my time.
Before your time?
Yeah, he's before my time.
He was at B.O.'s time. He was with B.O.
Who that?
Yeah. I don't know. Just being nosy.
Yeah. All right.
Don't worry about him.
But there
Believe me, I'm good.
Yeah, but there was okay. So Zulu Monk was out here. You know the name. You didn't roll with him.
Nah, I didn't roll with Monk.
All right.
I knew of Monk. He was not somebody in my circle, but I knew of him. I'm not gonna sit up there and say I knew him.
Strong.
Yeah, Monk was strong out here, but you gotta understand, son, I was a kid during this time. So if he was still running around right now, like, I don't know you because I was a baby.
No, he's
Yeah, they that's the older generation right there. But, just for closing or whatever the case may be, what is the penalty? The penalty for a child molester? I don't have to spell it out for y'all. I don't need nobody sitting up there. If something happened to Bam right now, the reality of it is, I'm not calling for nobody to go kill Bam, but at the same time, don't ask what the penalty is when y'all already know the penalty. Let's not play stupid. The reality of it is, y'all can't sit up there and say snitches get stitches, but a pedophile get a hug. I'd rather be a rat than a pedophile. I'd rather snitch all day than have a reputation for touching somebody's little boy. Now, your car's good.
What about all the people that knew and let it happen?
They deserve the same penalty as him. I'm not going to sit up there and clean nothing up for them.
Nope.
Here's the reality of it. It's just like I said with the Zulu. It's just like what I said with the Zulu Nation. When you sit back and you analyze the Zulu Nation, right? For some of the brothers to take over it right now, that has been molested, how do we know y'all not going to touch some more of the kids? Because I know you've been molested.
That's right.
I know he touched you. So everybody sitting up there talking about, oh, we didn't know what was going on. Some of y'all still around. Like I walked up on a Zulu brother, and I'll keep it secret until he decide to step forward himself.
Yeah, make sure you call me as soon as he ready.
The brother, like he said, he got to deal with his wife and his kids, but he had other brothers that were standing there that heard the story. So now, we as brothers, you still dealing in the Zulu Nation. How many brothers that's still in the Zulu Nation is passing on that trait? Because people that has been touched, touch others.
That's it. And that's it.
Brother, y'all all right?
Yes, sir. Yo, come on. You want him to close out?
As far as brothers,
All right.
as far as
I'm going up, my back killing me.
All right.
We're going to keep it 100.
I'll be over there, Dow.
right,
As far as everybody calling out and saying, all right, Bam need to come forward now. Bam let the Zulu Nation, you basically let your household be destroyed in order to save yourself.
But you know what? I seen the sincerity in the sister. She was a little riding the fence a little bit, but she said, man, you know what? I believe Poppy.
I
believe Poppy.
I respect her.
I want, she was mad with Pepsi, and she said, I want Bambaataa to come out.
See, here's what you got to understand, right? You could tell that she was coerced when she said Pepsi only been back for 3 years.
Oh,
this is Pepsi scapegoat. Yes, Pepsi only been back for a couple of years. I'll grant you that. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. If you've been a stand-up person your whole life, this is your moment in time where you fucked up. When you tried to cover up for this man and what he was doing, this was your moment where you messed up at and you muddied yourself up for a man that had no honor. So because you only been back for 3 years, when it was time for you to be stand up for like a general, when it was time to stand up and say, you know what, this ain't right, you ain't stand up and say this ain't right. What you did was you stood back. You fell back, and then when you stood back, you said, you know what, we gonna let the wolves go. Anybody that got something to do with this nation that's calling out, that radio jockey or any of them brothers that's accusing our brother, protect your nation at all costs. So part of your course was getting rid of your younger brother that you like a son to you. If that came about, and that still could come about, it ain't gonna be easy, but it still can come about. What would she have to say then? What would be her answer to that?
What was the number of that building?
1609.
1609.
The House of Pedophiles.
So this building's not important though.
So this is where the parties used to go down. This is the big park right here.
In the circle. Bam could come back to the hood. See, don't get it messed up. The hood ain't mad at Bam. Half the motherfuckers will still go back upstairs and get some head from him. Not the younger generation though. See, the younger generation never got a chance to experience that with Bam because Bam left the projects already. But these older dudes, a lot of these older cats out here, they still go upstairs and get some head from Bam. That's why y'all not gonna see them out here. A lot of these older cats that's in the projects, from the projects, they done got head from Bam. That's why they so quiet about it, and it's a lot of their fault. We can walk over this way. Right here. Oh, you ready to break out? Nah, I mean, it's up to you.
The major building?
If you just want to get a picture of the building, but outside of that, it ain't no big deal.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Yeah, you can talk about anything. This is like a documentary.
Where you play at, what
This is the building right here that Bam is from originally. His mother was from the first floor in this building, like the old head said. And the building right here, which is in front of us, that's the building on the 7th floor where Bam used to like to play with the little boys. So this is the building right here where Bam is originally from, and this is the building where he lived at with his roommate and business manager partner with kids.
Which side is the window?
We ain't even got in the front. The window's in the front. So this, the parties used to go down right here in the center. We ain't got to walk all the way in there. You don't want to walk too far away from your car. So we in the hood right here. This is the hood right here.
This is the hood.
This is the hood right here.
Bronx River.
Church ain't shit.
That church ain't been there that long, I don't think.
That church. How long that church?
Nah, that church been there for a while.
That church ain't.
Oh, wow. Let me get the street. I want to make sure people know we right here in the hood. $174th, y'all. The building where Bam is at, right here. That look like an OG right there.
Speedy.
This look like an OG right here, man. What's happening with you, man? Speedy, what up, Speedy? What's happening? Speedy on the move. All right, yo, come on. So Reggie, what you want to do? You want to drive over there where Savage is at? Yeah, this project?
You can go there. Go to Castle Hill. See, but people don't know. They just can't live in these projects, man. It's hard to live in these projects, man. You gotta make this split.
That's where you at, right, Reggie? Castle Hill.
And you can't let the pressure get to you. But when you're a child, you should have no pressure. Right?
Right.
When you're 12, 13, 14, 15, you should have no pressure to make decisions like that, man. Hey, Poppy, I think you're gonna change the world, man.
Well, you know what? I mean, at the end of the day,
I think you're gonna change the world when it comes to this issue of pedophilia in the black community. I think you're gonna change the world.
at some time and point in your life, everybody got to take a stand. At some point in time in your life, everybody got to take a stand